Hey there, you're watching Bourbon Battles. My name's Joe. Hey, our favorite kind of episode. That's what we're going to do today, where we go in the bucket over here and we draw two whiskeys at random and we're going to compare them and we're going to tell you which one we prefer over the other. So stick with us.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Okay, if this is your first time, first of all, why? Check this out. Spend some time this weekend and binge watch all of Bourbon Battles. So here's what we do. I've got a drawer over here that's full of these little sample bottles of whiskey. They're paired up intentionally, right? One of our last episodes was the new Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C923 versus Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof. To see what we picked the winner there, you're going to have to go back and watch that one. You might be a little bit surprised. So that's what we do. We try to compare two things that are similar, tell you what we like, and maybe you find out some information that you didn't know before, right? What beats Pappy? We've done that. Is there something that's better than George T. Stagg that's along those lines? We've done that, so check all those out. And, of course, Blanton's. We love to pick on Blanton's. We show you a lot of stuff that stacks up with Blanton's. So let's get over here. This is how this works. All right. So here's what it looks like. Got a little packet. You guys have all seen these. Two little sample bottles are labeled 1 and 2. And then a sealed envelope. We're going to put that right there till we're all done here. And we're going to pour these up. And I always do them backwards. So they're backwards to me. 1 and 2. You're going to know what I'm drinking as I go through them. I'm not going to have any idea. And that's the point. And if you want to know why we like to drink them blind, it's because we don't give a rat's ass what's on the label. We just like good whiskey. We don't care about the hype of the label. We don't care if it's got horsies on it, right? None of that stuff. None of that stuff matters, right? You guys have all, if you've been collecting bourbon for very long, you've gone out and chased after this. And you've probably figured out there's a lot of things that are just as good, like Elijah Craig Small Batch, Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. They're all as good as this. They're easy to find. Okay, let's get into this right here. Let's start with number 1. We're going to go through the nose, the palate, the finish, all that good stuff, compare them, and we're going to pick a winner. It's got a really good nose, almost like a little bit of a musty note. It's not pot still, but along those lines. Dusty, right? Books, that kind of stuff. You all know what I'm talking about. Really, really good nose. Number 2 doesn't have as much ethanol, but I also get a lot of those same notes, dustiness.
Smell it, now take it.
Let's take a look at these up here in the light. Great color on both of these. Dark, brilliant color, nice colors. The nose is going to go to number 2, but just by the slimmest of margins. Very similar noses, really. Maybe that's because I keep going back and forth. They smell old. Number 1, it's got some spice up front. A little bit of heat to it. Fruity, not overly sweet, very, very oaky. Let's check out number 2 here. Very interesting note in there. I think these are old. I don't think they're super high proof. They do have some good proof to them. They're very, very oaky, musty. They're so similar. I do think they're around the same proof point. Mm. Okay, so I have to pick a winner here, and I'm going to say one of these is better, but it's very close. And I'm going to choose number one as the winner, so you guys know what that is. Let me figure it out for myself here. I would say, before I look, if one of these is a lot more expensive than the other one, pick the cheaper one. They're that close. They're delicious. I do think, yeah. Let's see. Okay, so number one is Jack Daniel's 12-year-old. It's 107 proof. It's out of Jack Daniel's in Lynchburg, Tennessee, of course, using the charcoal mellowing method. And number two, as you already know, is 1792 12-year, 96.6 proof, out of the 1792 Bart Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky. These are both 12 years old, and they're within, what? Let's call it 10 proof points, right? 10.4 proof points. Neither one of these is very easy to find at retail. The 1792. Well, you know what? I can't answer that. They're probably very similar in price point at retail. The 12-year-old Jack Daniel's number one here is going for quite a bit more on secondary than retail. I'd like to try some of the Jack Daniel's 10-year-old because I think that it's probably better. That's just me guessing and thinking out loud. For my money, it's a no-brainer all day, every day. If you have a choice between Jack Daniel's 12-year-old and single barrel proof, go with that. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'd like to try this Jack Daniel's 12-year-old against a regular Jack Daniel's single barrel, not the barrel proof. Yeah, so good. Like I say, we're splitting hairs here. Have to pick a winner, and I went with Jack Daniel's. Like I said, the Jack Daniel's barrel proof's much better, and I'll say the exact same thing about the 1792. They're full proof, especially some of the store picks. If you have a choice, you can only get one between the 12-year and the full proof. Pick the full proof. Jack Daniel's, and they're quite a bit higher proof. These are lower proof whiskeys, and I actually think they drink probably right at or above their proof. So the oakiness is pretty thick on both of them. If that's your thing, you're going to love both of them. My sweet spot for bourbon is not at that 12-year point, right? I think it starts to lose some things when that oak takes over. That being said, I'm a big fan of the Calumet 16. And I'm actually going to pause the video here, and I'm going to try some of the Calumet 16 and see what I think, how it compares to these. Okay, I went and grabbed a bottle. I actually grabbed the 14, not the 16, because it's closer to the age statement. I'm a huge fan of the 16. So I'm curious. This stuff's a lot easier to find. It's a little more expensive than the other two products, but you actually get your hands on it, and the secondary market actually makes up for that. It's 96 proof as well, so it's the same proof as the 1792. It's a couple years older, but if memory serves, the oak isn't as prevalent on this one. Yeah, I like that quite a bit better than both the other two. So let's see about getting that in a blind. Of course, the Calumet 16. If you've never tried that, that's one of my favorite whiskeys. So you know, that's telling me the oak's not shining through as much as it does on these two, and it's 4 years older. So there you go. We went down a rabbit hole there with old whiskey a little bit. I picked the Jack Daniel's 12-year over the 1792 12-year, but I like the Calumet 14 better than both of those. So take that as you will. Let me know in the comments what you want to see in a battle. Let me know what you think about the Jack Daniels, the 1792, or even the Calumet 12, 14, 16, whatever age statement you prefer. Tell me what you think about the price points of these. And hey, just while we're talking about it, if you lasted this long, that means you're really into whiskey. Check out the Stave and Thief Society. Go to their website, staveandthief.com. Check out those courses. And if you're interested in the Executive Bourbon Steward course where you get that awesome sensory kit, please use discount code BBB for Bourbon Battles Blind, 15 for a 15% discount on that. Check us out on all of our social media. You can find information to all that at bourbonbattlesblind.com. Check out this stuff right here, Private Preserve. You take these expensive whiskeys, I squirt a little bit of that, and it's going to preserve it for you. What else we got to talk about? I got big things coming at the Bourbon Battle Studio, guys, so stick with us. Love to have you. Thanks for joining. And remember, drinking bourbon is supposed to be fun. Do it with your friends. Do it responsibly. Do it blind. Check this stuff out. Have somebody pour this for you. Whatever you do, don't drink and drive. Cheers.
If you drink, don't drive to the watermelon crawl.